part 2. This is game 1 of Sparkyz versus CJ Entus. This is go.go versus sKyHigh, and right now go.go has done a really nice job with a couple of wraiths doing some economic harassment. sKyHigh, on the other hand, went for a lot of vultures early on and sort of to try to gain map control, but go.go's been able to do a good job of bringing out his tanks and dealing with this. So I think go.go had a little bit of an advantage, but now that sKyHigh has got some anti-air, those wraiths have been neutralized a little bit, and the onus is once again on go.go to try to regain map control, and it looks like what he's doing right now is making a couple of dropships, another play out of the Lita playbook, but those vultures are easily cleaned up by the Goliaths that sKyHigh has produced, along with a couple of tanks that are out there in his base, and you know, this game is evening up a little bit. I think both players are working on taking their third expansion, and possibly it looks like sKyHigh might even be going for a fourth in the near future. So sKyHigh trying to gain a little bit of an edge on the economy, but right now it's looking like pretty even. Another vulture drop coming in for go.go. I'm really liking this play by him. Usually he's not quite so aggressive, so this is a nice play, and he's getting a good number of SEV kills. He might be able to clean out the entire... No, not quite. sKyHigh is able to bring in a couple of tanks and stop that just before all of those SEVs go down, but that was a nice harassment, and actually a counter-harassment going on. sKyHigh just running, it looks like 6 vultures directly into into go.go's base, and another vulture harassment by go.go. They're just vultures going after all of the SCV lines all over the map. This is pretty exciting and great play by both players, doing a lot of really good multitasking, harassing each other, defending against the harassment on their own bases. Pretty exciting, and it looks like vultures right now are becoming the unit of the map in this Terran versus Terran. So far, go.go has a little bit of a tech option advantage, I guess, just because he has that starport. He's able to produce dropships, but it looks like sKyHigh is landlocked at the moment. He does still, I believe, have a couple more factories than go.go does, so his production is going to be a little bit better. But those dropships certainly give go.go a lot more advantage of where he's going to be able to do his harassment. sKyHigh now has built up a good number of siege tanks, and he's looking to continue to gain map control and put pressure on go.go by just controlling the map, controlling the resources. It looks like, yes, still both players on 3 bases, and another harassment for go.go. This one is going to be not quite as successful. He loses his dropship, and it's cleaned up pretty well. sKyHigh is pretty well defended now in his main base. It looks like, though, his natural expansion might be still vulnerable. Maybe that's his third expansion. That is still going to be quite vulnerable, and now it's getting driven directly into by siege tanks and vultures. This is big press by go.go, and he's doing a nice harassment, forcing sKyHigh to lift his command center. So go.go, really nice playing, and sKyHigh is on his heels a little bit right now. He's going to be forced to, match this harassment that go.go is doing, and just in the long run, go.go might be able to, if he keeps this harassment up, he might be able to sort of starve out sKyHigh a little bit and outproduce him towards the later game. Looks like I'm imagining that the upgrades are pretty similar. I saw one of them had +1 upgrades on their tanks right now, but I'm not sure who that was actually, so I'm going to quit talking about that. Anyways, a large group of siege tanks moving up to the north. I think they're trying to deny a 4th expansion by go.go, and he's just got a couple of vultures and actually a lot of mines up there to try to defend against this, but I don't think it's going to hold. That is a lot of siege tanks, and now a Goliath coming in to help with that. So some dropships actually coming out and helping with this defense of this base. Well, there's no base there yet. sKyHigh is just anticipating a little bit and trying to get some pressure and keep go.go from putting a base. Meanwhile, he's trying to take his 4th base, but go.go has spider mines all over that area. So both players getting delayed on taking their fourth right now. This is a really even matchup. I'm not sure where this is going to go from here, but it does look like sKyHigh is actually committing a lot of resources to building Wraiths. I think he's got 4 ports and all of them producing Wraiths right now. He's got 4 Wraiths on the field. I'm not sure how many, so he's going a pretty big tech switch into air. And you know, this dropship play from go.go is gonna, you know, it's continuing right now, but that is gonna be limited in the future just because of all the Wraiths that are gonna be on the field. And I don't think he's scouted out any of this. I don't think he knows that this many Wraiths are gonna be produced. But so he might be in a little bit of trouble if he doesn't build an armory and get some Goliaths out, or at least build a lot of Wraiths on his own. Right now he does see that there are at least 4 Wraiths by sKyHigh. With his vulture harassment, it's still a pretty successful harassment. He's been able to kill off a tank, and he's you know, just wiping out maybe 3 or 4 SCVs. So it's a pretty nice play. And there he does lose his dropship while trying to retreat. go.go does, that is. But go.go putting on a nice show so far, but we'll see how he reacts to all these Wraiths. You know, Wraiths are a pretty weak unit. You know, they're pretty easy to kill. They don't do much damage to ground units, but when you mass them together, they are very fast. And along with Cloak, it can put a real strain on a Terran player, and it's really dangerous to an all siege tank and vulture army, which is what go.go has basically right now. I don't know if he has his armory. He does have a science facility out, but he's going to need something to get anti-air against these Wraiths once sKyHigh starts to press in with him. Meanwhile, still a territory control battle, and go.go's looking to force in and take this middle of the base, but you know, both players have a lot of territory that they want to defend, but it's not really going to happen. And right now these Wraiths are being able to pick off some of those land units by go.go, and he still has pretty much nothing to defend against these. He's just now getting some Goliaths out. He's got a couple turrets at his bases, so I guess not completely undefended right now, but still those Wraiths are a powerful force out there. It looks like both players now have probably taken their 4th expansion. This is going to be really important. Maybe a 5th one. Yeah, it looks like a 5th one just landed for go.go, so he's trying to keep a little bit of an economic lead. Oh no, he still hasn't landed his 4th base, so you know, once he clears out any spider mines that are out there, he will be able to you know, take a little bit of an economic lead, and but he's going to have a little bit of trouble defending against all these Wraiths at these new expansions. You know, it's hard to move Goliaths around this map. They generally need to go through the middle to get anywhere else, which is pretty hard for Goliaths to do when there's a lot of spider mines out and whatnot. But you know, he's got to have something to counteract these Wraiths, because just, oh wow, and you see sKyHigh actually taking down that command center with his Wraiths because there's no anti-air there. He needs to build turrets, he needs to get Goliaths moving around all around this map, and sKyHigh's starting to take a little bit of advantage. He's being able to deny both the 4th and 5th bases for go.go, and go.go's in a little bit of trouble now. He really needs to find some solution to these Wraiths, and he needs to get back the territory that he had just a minute ago. Meanwhile, I think that's his 5th base going down for sKyHigh, so he is continuing this economic press, not only with this harassment, which has been hugely successful in this mid-game, beginning in the late game, I guess, and you know, denied 2 expansions, actually taking down the command center of one of them. That's really big play later on, and it's going to take a long time for go.go to be able to match the production that sKyHigh is going to be able to have. These Wraiths have really turned out to be a great decision by sKyHigh. I don't know how many kills they have, but a large number of tank and vulture kills on them. He's been able to do good harassment on SCV lines, and now it looks like he is going to be pushing into the 3rd base of go.go. This is, you know, his main has got to be running thin by now. So this is one of his important only producing bases, probably. I mean, he's probably still got a little bit of minerals at his main, maybe, I don't know. Still got a little bit of minerals at his natural, but pretty soon that is going to be his only expansion unless he gets his 4th and or 5th up. Meanwhile, go.go's found out this 5th expansion by Oz, and that's a pretty, I mean, sorry, not Oz, by sKyHigh, and that's actually a cool little spot on this map where you can just kind of siege over that little ridge there, and it looks like we're going to see sKyHigh pushing in, but we're going to need to take another break right now, so we'll see you in part 3.